Hey guys, welcome back to AFK Journey. In today's video, I wanted to talk about what I'm doing with my stargazing currency and my guild coins, because we are getting to the point now where we are stacking up quite a few. As you can see on my guild coins, I am at 81,000, and then if I go over to my stargazers, I'm sitting here at 26 of those, and I am saving them. Now, we're about to look at something. Massive shout out to Antilla at Pridewin for recording his gameplay for me, because as you guys know, my account got into the season only a few days ago, so I'm not there. But in the campaign, you do get to an area where you do reach a new hypergene enemy, and that is what I'm looking at, because I think this is the first character that we've seen in the game besides the Celestials and Hypergenes that is a Celestial or Hypergene and is in sort of the game, and you can see their skills, but they basically hidden the skills. So my plan at the moment is to keep saving until we see this guy or another new Celestial or Hypergene come into the game, because even though I'm getting to the point where, yes, I could beef up my my Rainier quite nicely. I could get 2 extra copies from the shop, which would be fantastic. I'm coming up to my next, every character free event one on Sell Hypo. That my next one will be a Sell Hypo. And if I pop a Rainier there, pick up 2 copies from the shop, I'm already at 4 copies of Rainier. I can pop a few summons, maybe get another one. I am getting close to that, but no matter how many I get, I am not going to be summoning any of them until we get a new Celestial or Hypergene in the game. That is just a decision I've made. I'm not saying that you have to do that. The other thing I am doing, just so you guys know, if you're wondering how I got that many, in the Champion Arena store, I am buying out 5 of these per week. I think that's probably a bad idea for most free-to-play, but I always like getting Celestials and Hypergenes because they feel special. I always do it in AFK Arena as well. So even though the standard characters would probably be better value for me, considering it costs 6,000 of the Arena coins to go ahead and get 5 Stargazers, I am still purchasing those, just so you guys know where I'm getting them from. If you're up here in the arena, if you're free to play, I mean, you got to make your own decision. I don't think it's a great value for them, but because there's no other way to get them, it's kind of what I am stuck on doing. But I am also super curious, and the reason I really want to wait is because if we eventually do get a new Celestial Hypergene, whether it's this guy or any other character, I feel like they're going to be like the quote-unquote power creep that we will see, and I want to see if they do get added to the guild store. So that's why I'm also holding on to my guild store coins. If they do come to the game, I'd probably wait. I don't know whether they'll do like a rate up thing or something for them. I don't know how they'll release Celestial Hypergenes when they do, or whether they just sneak them in and it's like whatever. But if there is like an event period for them, I will wait till that event ends to see if they go into the shop. And then if they don't go into the shop, that is when I will go ahead and be like, okay, I'm just doing Rainier from shop, gonna finish him off. Or Scarlita is another option that a lot of people have been talking about. I might make a whole video talking about those two versus each other as well. But with all that out of the way, let's jump over here and take a look. So massive shout out once again to Antilla at Pridewin for sharing this to me. And as you can see, the guy's name is, what was the guy's name? Let's scroll up. It's Freyesto. The dude's name is Freyesto. Now, we got some images of him here. Dude looks savage. He's basically got 3 scorpion's tails coming out of his hair, which I think is absolutely wicked. I love this guy's design. For those that don't know, scorpions are an animal that I've just always loved. I think the whole idea behind a scorpion having like the tail, but also having the claws. I know this guy doesn't have the claws, but I'm just expressing my love for scorpions. I think they are a wicked looking creature. And that's enough justification for me. But dude looks sick. We actually saw a little bit of him in the trailer for the season, where his 3 scorpion tails hooked onto Soren's staff, and they had like the little wrestle thing. So we have seen a little bit of him before. But once again, we do have this over here, which shows us like, his skills. Like, he's got everything in the game. He is a Hypergene. He's a tank. He deals magic damage with a 1-range tile. So he's like a magic damage dealing tank from melee range. Is the basic gist, but we don't get to see any of his skills, but we can still see the images. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch a little bit of the gameplay of this guy and then talk about what I think he might do, because when I first watched it, I'm like, surely that's just part of the, there's the dramatic sense of the playthrough on campaign. But when you look at his skill abilities, we could have some crazy stuff going with this guy. So let's take a look at the battle. This is Antilla. Once again, massive shout out to the man. He puts in so much work for so many games, and he's always willing to help me out with shit like this, which I do massively appreciate. But basically, there's not too much. He'll like randomly put a big tail up, try and spike someone. That's about it. But once we get to this part here, this is where it gets super interesting. Unfortunately, there's the stupid text that comes on, and as you can see, he splits. he splits, which is incredibly cool to me. Now, I do get... my problem is anytime I see a mechanic that reminds me of a character from AFK Arena, if that character's bad in AFK Arena, I get nervous, which is Wukong that this reminds me of. If you played AFK Arena, which dude's just nowhere. But we are delayed in where the meta gets to, so don't get caught up on that with me. But essentially, it looks like he makes clones. Now, like I said, I originally thought that this could be just like a part of the dramatic sense for the story and stuff like that. But once again, if we go back here and take a look at this, you can see his ultimate little like symbol actually has like the 2 heads. So maybe he doesn't split into 4, maybe he splits into 2, but I feel like just that alt symbol could well and truly represent the idea of him splitting into multiple copies of himself, because it is like the two heads, it's like they're splitting. So I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. I thought that was pretty cool when I saw it, but let's just bounce forward a little bit until we get back there. And here we go. So we got the 4. As you can see, they're all attacking independently on an independent timer for their abilities. They can get controlled. You can see they go to smoke. And this is very, very reminiscent of Wukong in AFK Arena, where he goes into a bunch of clones. Once they're all gone, then he spawns back in the original position. So that is giving me serious vibes. Besides that, he just looks like melee and he smacks dudes with his tail. As you can see, he ended up getting all 3 tails up there, which I'm not too sure exactly what was going on with that. But yeah, I like Copium because he's a scorpion, but I think the dude looks absolutely savage. I really do hope he will be our next Celestial or Hypergene, because I think he just looks too cool. But once again, this is just complete speculation. I'm not saying he is coming, but I am going to save for hopefully what is this guy, if not until we get another Celestial Hypergene, so I know how the system works. Like I said, I am at the stage on my account where I do have, once again, let's go back over here. Boom. I do have a ton of currency saved up, and yes, I could start going deep into a Rainier, trying to get Rainier copies and stuff like that, and getting beefed up for bossing. But honestly, I'd just rather save, because I also feel like in this game, we've had, from the banner characters we had Vala, we had Floribel, and now we've had Elsa, and then we're going to have Soren. Vala, Floribel, and Elsa, all, you know, good enough characters, but nothing crazy. Nothing that I'm like, I must have that character. Soren, I definitely don't see Soren being that must-have character. I think they're gonna... I don't think they'll keep making the A-levels the better characters. I just don't think it will happen. So I think they're gonna stick... Hopefully from now on... Or not hopefully, but I think from now on, the A-levels will be more of the niche characters. And we haven't had an overly powerful character. So I feel like we're due as well for that. So after Soren, I'm hoping we either get an S-level character that is like one that I'm desperately wanting to pull, because I am also saving my diamonds for another character to summon for, or maybe we get a Celestial or Hypergene that is something new that we can get. Now, if they do release a Celestial or Hypergene, two things better happen. They better get added to the guild store, because I've essentially got 15 extra, and the other thing is I've bought out all these ones as well. So I've got essentially 15 extra so far, Stargazers from here. However, if you go to my inventory, I'm only on 26. So, and I've summoned 9. So really, if you take away the 15 that I've got, that puts me to 11, the 9. So I've effectively only got 20 so far. As a normal free-to-play player, would only have 20 Stargazers. If they release a new Stargazer character, and like it's just basically impossible to get them unless you spend money, I think that's bad. So they got to add them to the shop. 2, even better, make it like AFK Arena, where you can spend 5,000 diamonds and do a 10 pull on the Stargazer. That would be the best solution for me. But you know, we're gonna have to wait and see how they actually organize all this stuff. But like I said, I am saving everything. I'm saving basically everything at the moment except for normal tickets and epic tickets, because I'm waiting for new raid up characters that I want to get, and I am saving all my Stargazers and stuff for a new Celestial Hypergene, which hopefully comes. But honestly, if it's another 4 or 5 months till a new Celestial Hypergene, well then that's longer for me to save, and I have more likelihood of getting them to a higher investment when they do come. But that is just what I'm doing. I just wanted to show you guys this guy because he was super cool. Once again, massive shout out to Antilla at Pridewin for that footage. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.